Welcome to Drum and Drummer, Thursday morning, coming in your ears hard. I'm George, and that's Ben. Hope you're having a lovely morning. Maybe you're driving to work. Maybe you're listening to this on a Saturday. You've got through your working week and gone, now time for Ben and George, you know? Whatever you're doing, enjoy, yeah? So that was one of the times where I just do it, you know? I'll do another one in like 40 episodes.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
I started just playing a beat and then the singer starts going, give me your attention, baby. I was like, what is going on?
The absolute cheek.
Did you have something ready?
No, you're all good.
Okay.
All good, boy.
Cool.
All good, boy. What do you want to talk about first?
Right, I want to tell you about my accidental purchase. So we always talk...
All the best purchases are accidental.
Yeah, I think so. It's like nights out, you know. A lot of your favourite nights out might have been accidental, or you know, we'll just go for one, you know, and then it's the best night of your life. So I was driving to a gig. Oh, actually, no. Let me preface this with Graham Russell drums. You know, he's been on the show recently. Graham Russell.
Oh, I know.
And oh yeah, big time, big time. Thank you to him for raising our downloads. But people will always talk about, you know, I literally popped into that shop for a pair of sticks and I came out with a new drum kit and cymbals, and I just couldn't help myself, and then it just happened. I used to have people say it to me at your studio all the time. So I was driving to a gig in Shaftesbury the other day, which is like the west, you know, sort of up from Bournemouth or something, Ringwood way. Just where, like beyond Southampton.
The Old Forest? No, the new one.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, is it still new? Because old Henry VIII made that question quite a while ago.
It's a great question. Yeah.
I used to have a teacher called Mr.
New
Young.
York, not
and I
so
said
new anymore.
No, I said to my mum once about Mr. Young, I said, will he still be called Mr. Young when he's in his 70s? And she went, yeah, of course he will. That's fucking mental.
Third time you've mentioned him. Right.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So, oh yeah, I do like to tell that story. So I was driving to Shaftesbury, and I was thinking, I feel like I've forgotten something, but I think that most gigs. And I looked in the back because I don't even have to put the seats down now, and I sort of had a look down in the footwell and everywhere, and I went, oh, I have no drum mat. Shit, okay. I've forgotten my drum mat. And I was driving, and I was aware that I'd driven past Portsmouth. You know, I'd come from Brighton, driven past Portsmouth, and I went, hang on, I know a little shop round here. So I just put it in Google Maps. Oh, Graham Russell, 6 minutes away. I was like, perfect. So I parked up. You know, I left myself loads of time. You know, it was still 40 minutes earlier than the arrival if I get there. So I'm like, cool. I can pop in. It's all right.
I've got time to play with.
Yeah, loads of time. So I get into the shop. You know, it's a Saturday afternoon. It's kind of busy, and I just went up to the till. You know, we know this about Graham Russell drums. All the staff are lovely. So you just hi, how's it going? You all right? Can I help? You know, and I said, yeah, I'm looking to buy a drum mat, and they're like, oh, is there any specific? I said, let me stop you there. No, I didn't say that. That was quite rude. But I said, okay, here's the deal.
I'm driving to... Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Sorry. The fact that you didn't say, wow, thanks for helping our store reach new growth through your podcast. So I said, I need a drum mat now because I'm on my way to a gig and I've forgotten mine. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. He was like, I've got one upstairs, secondhand, protection racket, 1.2 meter by, so I think it was 1.2 meter by 2 meters, massive, right? And he was like, will that do? I'm like, yeah, I'll literally take anything. So I'm upstairs, and obviously you got all the cymbals upstairs, and little brainwave went off, and I went, hang on, I saw something on Instagram about how they're having a 20% off sale whilst England are still in the Euros. And I also saw that they always list all the things they have, and there was some Zildjian new beats on the list, and I went, I wonder if they've still got them. So as we're taking the mat down, I went, you haven't got any of those new beats, have you? And he said, what, used, second hand? I went, yeah. He went, yeah, they're right here. And I went, I'll have them as well, please. And he was like, yeah, cool. And he was like, and we're having 20% off. And I went, oh, cool. Well, I'll get some sticks then as well. And then we went downstairs. And it came to, with the 20% off, the mat, the sticks, the cymbals, the wig, the glasses, the catchphrase. It came to less than just what the cymbals would be. So it was like $217 for a drum mat, new beats, sticks. And I was like, this is the best day ever. But I must have been in there a total of 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Popped in to get a drum mat, and then I was like, I've got to get some hi-hat cymbals, because I've had the same hi-hats since I was 17, and I've never changed. And
what were your hi-hats?
Sabian something. I can't remember what they were, because they're worn out now.
I think that's what they were called, the Sabian something.
Yeah, Sabian something, yeah. It was a forgotten...
The minor whatchamacallits.
Exactly. Just trying to think of more.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't think of it. The Pisces things.
The Zildjian, they'll do.
Yeah. Did you use them on the gig?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So I turned up to this gig and instantly told everyone. It was kind of the same vibe as when I got the Yamaha Crossdown light hardware. I went, oh my God, you got to check this out. I did the same. I was like, look, I've got these new hi-hats. Everyone's like, cool. And I was trying to explain to them.
They look old. Yeah, but
yeah.
Yes.
But they're great. I was trying to explain to them on guitarist level what it was like. I said, no, these are the new beats. Like in recording world, they're like the Gibson Les Paul or the Fender Tele. And they're like, eh? And then I went, or the Fender Precision Bass. And they went, oh, yep, got you. I was like, why did it take that? Anyway, but they are bloody lovely. It was just a crisp sound.
They sound like hi-hats. And that's mental to say, because they are hi-hats.
So mental.
And most other hi-hats sound like hi-hats. But they sound like hi-hats.
They really sound like hi-hats. We did, we sound checked Can't Stop the Feeling, and that starts with hi-hats, and I was just like, this is nice.
Just lapping it up.
Yeah.
Lapping it up. And everyone else is just like, it's just hi-hat, mate. You're like, oh, listen.
I didn't even go to the groove. I just stayed on that.
For half an hour.
All you need is hi-hats. So yeah, that was my, I'd say accidental purchase, but I think it was premeditated. I thought, if I get to Graham Russell, I'll get them. And I just, by accident, had to go there, But bloody hell, the mat is massive. Do you want to see it? It's insane.
Not really.
I mean, okay, fair enough. It's really big and heavy.
You not long ago bought a drum mat, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So you got two now.
So yeah, right. So I was going to say this. I now have full everything for 2 kits, because we spoke about this when I had the big Tama Star Classic and the Gretsch Catalina, and we said, like, would it be weird to get hardware for both kits? And we were like, yeah, that would be a bit mental. But then I did it anyway, because it actually makes total sense. So now I've got the Gretsch Catalina, not only has its own hardware, but now I'm going to just use the lighter mat for that one as well. And then if I'm on big stages,
less likely.
Please listen to our pod. Anyone that can help that. Take the big boy. Take the big mat, I've got it now. Yeah. So, I now have a full kit and mat and hardware for both things. So, that's
Lovely.
good. No one cares,
Lovely.
but,
but yeah. I know you want to talk a little bit more about your gig.
Yeah, but let's let you talk.
And dynamics.
Yeah.
Not musical dynamics. Yes, Graham Russell, we're not being paid to say this.
No.
You might think we are. Yeah. What we're trying to do is worm our little fingers in. Yeah. Like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. Sorry, I've just been watching Game of Thrones again.
Have you?
Yeah. They've been at a sale on 20% off all used drum gear, which obviously they've
You're
quite
doing
a
a
lot
segue.
of.
I can feel the segue coming.
Feel the segue, yeah, you know.
But I'm all for it. I'm ready.
For as long as England are in the Euros.
There it is.
Whether they get knocked out or whether they win. And actually, a tip, if you're looking for, because, you know, one of the beauties of Graham Russell is the stock keeps revolving.
Yeah.
It comes in, it comes out. Sometimes they don't even have time to put it on the website. Follow their Instagram, because they will put up lists of stuff of like, we've got this in, it's not on the website, here it is, here's the price.
Can I just say quickly?
Yeah.
That drum mat, yeah, exactly that. When the guy gave it to me, his mate went, I told you, didn't I? What did I tell you? And I went, what's he saying? He was like, oh, used drum mats never last. We got this yesterday and they go within a day. So yeah, anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
Stock rotation.
Yeah. So go on the Instagram and see the list and then give them a call. I saw the list. I saw the new beats.
Yeah.
And I thought... And actually, a few months ago, I sent you... told you they had some new beats in.
Yeah.
I saw a second time. I thought, he didn't buy them last time. Can't be bothered to let him know they're in again. But I'm very glad you got them.
Me too.
But this brings me on to that I bet they were getting very close to taking down the sale.
Yes.
On Sunday night. 94 and a half minutes into the game. The 20% used deal is over.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Jude
Bloody
Bellingham's
hell.
bicycle kick has cost Graham Russell dearly.
Thousands of pounds. Because that sale is now on till next Saturday. Almost an entire another week of
Amazing.
20% off you. So, very important. This will come out on Thursday. You've still got a couple of days.
Yeah.
England cannot be kicked out until Saturday now. At the very Saturday 7 p.m. at the very latest, earliest. So, go and have a look. It's amazing though. Go on.
Yeah, I can't tell if we're doing promotional work for Graham Russell or being like, hey, get there now. It's really cheap. You know, like take advantage of them. But
well, because I'll tell you why, George. I'll tell you why. Because you know, you see 20% off all used drum gear. Okay, and that's the thing. I think in the drum world, there's no shame in buying used gear.
No,
there's no. If anything, it's I see quite regularly on Reddit. It is promoted above buying new gear. Don't buy new, buy used. You know.
Yeah.
But to get a 20% off, that's 1/5.
Yeah.
For all those boffins out there, or you know, and you go, well, let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah. And there is a little snare drum on there that I'm thinking,
yeah.
You know,
I may pop back this week because I have to go that way twice this week.
Yeah.
Or this coming week. And it's like,
so it's definitely worth having a look. Have a look on their Instagram, have a look on the website, pop down in person. You will get yourself an absolute bargain.
Yeah, you really will.
But let's talk about England for a second.
Oh, my
this
God.
This isn't a football podcast, but fucking hell. They can't keep doing this to me. They've aged me. You just sat there most of the tournament, first half an hour of the first game, you're going, hello. Yeah. And then the next 3 entire games, you're like, oh my God, this is...
Yeah.
And then in a way, I was working Sunday, recording a band, starting at 10. Our usual sessions are 10 till 6. England were kicking off at 5.
Yeah.
You gotta think about this. And I knew though the band want to watch the game. So we all started the day, right, we all want to watch the football. So we need to all work together to get this recording done.
Yep.
With adequate time to then go and watch the football. So that involves everyone. We're not really going to have a lunch break.
No.
We're going to just get a sandwich down, and we're going to crack on. Anyway, I left the studio at 4:42.
Yep.
It's a 18-minute walk. I walked through the door 20 seconds into kickoff. So, you tell me. But then you're watching it going, shit, innit? It's fine. I went into that game going, well, at least now we either win or it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can put us to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
And then you think, because then you go, well, if we do go through, it's on Saturday, got a gig, bugger, what are we going to do in that situation? And then you think, oh no, we're going out, it's fine, don't even worry. And then you blink, and it's 2-1. What?
Did you not think when Jude Bellingham got the bicycle kick, did you not think, oh, I think we're going to win now?
I did think we're going to win now, yeah.
Yeah. Because my thing was, when it was 1-0 to them, and it was getting to the end, and I went, good. Do you know what? I don't want us to win. I want us to lose because we don't deserve to win.
Good,
and then,
end it. Just end the misery.
Yeah, end it now.
Put him to sleep.
And then as soon as he did that bicycle kick, I was like, oh my God, it's coming home. Like, this is amazing. Like, I want this. I want this so bad. You know? And then,
it's not to get too, I don't get too emotionally involved in football.
No.
The more so is with England, but you're just like, fine, just end it. Yeah. And then within 5 minutes, you're like, right, all about Saturday now. My week has changed, It's the hope that kills you. But
it really is.
But 20% off till Saturday now at the latest.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
At the
might
earliest,
fluke it again on Saturday.
Yeah, Graham was like, fucking hell, guy. I only did this deal because England were fucking abysmal.
Anyway.
He's
going to have no stock left.
What's next on your shopping list then, if you are to pop? One thing, I'm a little bit disappointed that you needed to pop it into your sat-nav to find it.
Yeah, that is true. I think it was just because I wasn't sure where on the M27, not even sure if that's the right road, I was. But I don't go down that ends as much as...
It's true, I'm being hard because I sort of used to live around there.
Yeah, so, it's true. And I was very stressed. I went, where is it now,
So just to clarify, you had forgotten your drum mat. You didn't then turn up to the gig with two drum mats.
With two. No.
Why did you forget it? What made you?
Don't know. I've had a lot on. I don't know.
Sure.
So I might still buy a new ride.
Here's a little test.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, take the drum mat back and part exit. See what he gives you for it.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I thought that once about... Did I ever tell you about when the only time I've ever sold gear, traded my drum kit that was just a pile of shit, and he was like 50 quid. I was like, yeah, fine, I don't care. And then I also gave him this cymbal. I had this crash
went, no,
cymbal.
you pay me 50 quid to take this.
Yeah, exactly. But he gave me 60 quid for a cymbal, and I went, yeah, cool, and I kind of regret getting rid of it because there was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, why did I get rid of a crash? It's mental. But I remember, I think I've told this story before, I did a gig, and then it was a wedding, and they wanted to play my kit, and I said no. They said, okay, what if we hire a kit? I said, okay. And then they hired it. It was a piece of shit. So I said, fine, let's just use mine. But I got the cymbals out that they got from Graham Russell's, and it was one of mine. It was the one I sold for 60 quid, and it was now like 170 or something. I was like, oh, okay, there it is. And part of me thought, should I just, because the clients were kind of cunts. So I was like, should I just take it back? Because I missed that cymbal, and then they can pay the fine. They're good for it. But I didn't. So,
No.
Because that would have been wrong. So I think I might buy a ride, but I'm gonna go in maybe on Wednesday or Friday, because I have gigs in the West both days, and will just pop in and take my time, not just do it on brand, not just go, well, it's got a
take
K
your
on
time.
it.
It's key.
Yeah.
And it's no better place to spend that time.
No.
Especially when you got some cash.
Yeah.
You are king. And it's such a good experience.
I know.
Whereas
I don't know what
I'm trying to find any excuse to go, I need an 11th snare drum. Because I don't have one made of copper.
Exactly.
That's what I wake up every morning telling myself.
You deserve one. Do you know what I think? It's kind of, I was thinking of it as like being a tradesman and having a better tool set. You know, we know Elliot Joseph. He's a carpenter. You know, I'm sure he keeps his, I don't really know what tools you need to be a carpenter.
Saw.
Hammer, chisel, saw. I'm sure he keeps them all good. Yeah, and keeps them all in check.
Some wood glue.
Just some, yeah. I don't know.
We all did DT at school. It's not hard.
But anyway, point being,
bit of balsa,
when I played...
bit of wood, bit of PVA glue. There you go. There's your pagoda. Cheers. That'll be £8,000.
Yeah, exactly. And I did it all topless. Yeah, no, but I was playing those new beats on the gig, and I was like, oh, this feels better. I feel like I'm treating my craft more seriously now, you know, rather than being like, well, I have because that's how I treat a lot of things, you know. That's how I treat clothes. I never really go clothes shopping, you know. This hoodie, I've had it since 2018. You can't see, listeners, but it's just falling apart and it's just shot to shit. But I'm like, well, it still keeps me warm, so why do I need to buy a new hoodie? And I think I felt like that about drum gear, but I'm like, because it sounds better, and then if you sound better, you'll be better, and you'll be more confident, and you get more gigs, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, right, I mean, that is just me justifying spending all my money on drum gear.
And I'm sure there's a lot of drummers who have had that thought process.
Exactly the same thought process.
Yeah.
But that's my one, and I'm like, do you know what? I got the new kit, hardware's good. It's cymbal time, baby. It's cymbal time, you know.
What's your current ride?
It's like a mine or something. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, we swapped for a bit, didn't we?
We did, and it can sometimes be a bit gongy. It's a bit like a gong, you know. And I'm like, I don't really want to be playing a gong as a ride. So I want something a bit drier. I think that's the general take. I once played James Gillingham's ride cymbal when I used to share his studio for a little bit. And it was the driest thing ever. Like, you'd hit it and it would just have there was no, like, it wasn't like there was no wash to it, but I just remember thinking, God, this is great. Like, if I played jazz, I bet this would be great for jazz, but I don't. But yeah, maybe just something like that, rather than like when you hit it, it's just like for ages, just something a bit more.
Do you
I don't know.
Crash on the ride a lot?
I do, but I never like to with my ride because it just sounds like a big gong.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have a ride that I can crash on and it sounds nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to say? Anything else? Because I want to talk band dynamics.
I don't know, really. I think I'm still a bit in shock about England.
Yeah.
A bit waking up going, oh, we're still in it. I was.
Yeah.
Every part of my being was thinking, it's over now.
Yeah.
You know.
Should I tell you what's funny?
I don't know if I've got anything else. I don't know.
That's fair enough.
I've just worked a lot. Did a gig on Saturday. Easy. Next.
Nice.
Full electric kit. Because it was sound emitter. Yeah. Oh, we've got a sound emitter. Don't care anymore. Don't care.
Oh, is that all right, guys? Yeah. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
You're justifying my purchase.
Yeah. Give me more sound limiter gigs, if anything.
Yeah.
You know. No, I'll just say with England, it's weird with England because everyone's like, Southgate out. Oh, I bet he wears, armbands when he gets in a paddling pool, he's too safe and all that. But if you look at his track record for tournaments, I mean, were we in the final of something? Like, I swear we were in the final of the Euro. Yeah, and semi-final of the World Cup. Yeah. And growing up before Southgate,
final of the World Cup. Yeah. He's got the best track record of knockout football ever in England.
This is it. But growing up before Southgate, all that anyone ever used to talk about was obviously 66.
We used to go out in the groups. Yeah. We enter the last group game
1 year we didn't even qualify.
Out and then draw 0-0 with Algeria.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And he's getting so much shtick. And it's like, if we lost yesterday, he surely would have been sacked. But he might stay in. But everyone's like, oh, you got to get rid of him. But I remember before him, it was just like the biggest thing we could talk about beside the World Cup was in 1990 when we got to the semi-final, and it was just like, that was our, oh my God, do you remember that? Gary Lineker nearly scored or something. I don't know. I wasn't born. But Yeah, it's just like, just calm down, everyone.
Well,
He's
I look
all right.
back, see it, you know, for me, not peak, but my first tournament I can remember was Euro 96.
Yeah.
And then at the time, you don't even realise how special it was that it was actually in England.
Was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that was great. And that was semi-final.
Yeah.
Lost to the Germans on Panos. And won Mr. Southgate. Missed his penalty. And you sort of look back at that as that's the beating the Netherlands 4-1. Yeah. Beating Spain on penalties. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But you can't help but confuse what you enjoyed about it, the fact that I was 11, so life was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no responsibility. It was awesome. No. I got some pocket money and I rode my bike.
Yeah.
You know, don't have either now. You know, I've been fleeced left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you've got to treat yourself to some drum gear.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Is it our midlife crisis, drum gear, you know? Because we're in our 30s. No, I can't do it.
As we've discussed, it's investment in our career.
It is. I'll say one more thing though about England. I remember like when you're saying about like you got to stop doing this to me, England. And I remember in 2006 watching England play Portugal, and I think it was the one where Ronaldo got Rooney sent off and winked at the camera. But I swear like there was no goals throughout, and it was just so tense. And I remember it so well. I went, oh my God, this is, and Dad went, this is watching England. Like really just matter of fact, this is it. This is how it feels. And yesterday I was watching it. As I said, I don't talk much about my part-time work, but I do work in a children's home part-time, and I was watching it with all the kids, and they were like, this is horrible. This is the worst thing. I was like, yep.
And you looked round and the camera panned and you went, well, kids, this is watching England.
Exactly. I've passed it down. Right. Anyway, shall we talk
it's almost like, no, I don't want the kids to think that we can win stuff.
No.
All younger generations should suffer the same pain as the older.
Yeah.
Fact.
Exactly.
Why should your education be free when we paid for it? I don't know, because it's quite good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better.
I'm sorry that I haven't lived through a world war. I'm sorry about that, but
neither did you.
For it. Yeah, exactly.
Those people didn't live through a world war now.
Yeah.
Hang on, can we just check the dates on that? Because I'm pretty sure.
That's
sure you were born in 1956.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You take it for granted. You take it for granted, you young people. You don't have to go and fight for your country. Well, neither did you. You're in your 60s. When were you born?
You've worked for Magnet Kitchens for 30 years. What action have you ever seen? Apart from a foreclosure. Anyway, speaking of Gareth Southgate, speaking of leaders, speaking of management.
Yeah. Another segue. Another brilliant segue. Well done.
Yeah.
Is this our best episode? So I did the gig on Saturday, which I alluded to.
With your new drum mat, with your new beat your new beat hi-hats.
And a new pair of sticks, which adds to, that always makes you feel better. And it was a weird one because it was, it was a collective, and 3 of the members, I won't mention names, I am one of the 3, have played together before a lot of times. But then there was another singer, and none of us had met her. And there was this sort of weird dynamic of no one knew who was really in charge. And I think that can happen on a collective when it's sort of like a group of people thrown together and you go, right, well, who's in charge? And the set list was put together by the guitarist, and there's way too many songs. 2 hours, and there was 48 songs. I was like, that's too many songs.
No.
Yeah.
Too many.
So before the gig, I was trying to take control and be like, we need to cut some songs. Even if we cut 10, that will still be too many songs, I was like, 2 hours is 33, 34 songs. Maybe do 35 to be safe, but 34,
Those are the exact numbers running through my head.
And I knew that if I said that, you'd be like, yep. So I was looking at 48. I was like, that's mental. I said I'd put it all into I was probably a bit too, anal about it all, but I was like, I put it all into a Spotify playlist and it comes to 2 hours 59. So we have too many songs. And they're like, well, we're cutting down American Pie. I'm like, I don't give a shit. We're not cutting down an American Pie isn't an hour 10 song, So, although it feels like it sometimes. And so I was like, well, let's cut some out. But none of them sort of had their iPads with them. I was like, so we're taking this out? Like, yeah, we'll take that out. And then it gets to the gig, and there was a bit of confusion. I'll tell you the confusion. So we were meant to start after the first dance. We were meant to do I Feel Good, James Brown, I Got You, as the first song. But me and the bass player thought that's what we were doing. Not sure what the singer thought we were doing. I think she also thought that. But the guitarist thought we'd cut that song, and we hadn't. So I was getting ready to count in, wow, I feel good, you know. And so I went, and then the guitarist went, bam, 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 bam. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I started just playing a beat. And then the singer starts going, give me your attention, baby. I was like, what is going on? And me and the bassist were like, what's just happened? So he suddenly starts having to play Treasure rather than I Feel Good. And then for the rest of the gig, it was just sort of a bit like, oh, what is going on? And there was a lot of moments like that where it's like, right, who is in charge here? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, I just found it interesting. It's, I've said it, if I play with your band, any of your bands, when it's you and Neil, God, I turn up so relaxed to those gigs, as long as I've got all my gear and I'm in tune and on time, I sort of go like, this is going to be fine, because I have two highly experienced function band people who are both also like the managers of it. So just whatever, they can do it. Do you know what I mean? And whereas sometimes I'll turn up to a gig and it'll be one of my bands and there's a lot of depths and you go, oh shit, I guess I'm in charge. But it's just an interesting thing. I think it's sort of like you need someone to be like, right, this is what's happening. Everyone listen to me. And it's funny how leadership works like that. I feel like I'm someone who I'm always happy for someone else to take leadership. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, if you want to do it, you do it. However, if I notice that no one's doing it, then I'll be like, right, well, I'll do it then. Do you know what I mean? I'll never just let it fail. But that gig was just kind of like, probably should have, discussed things more. It can get a bit too relaxed. Like, yeah, it'll be fine. And we'll just cut it out. Cut it out as we're playing. We'll just shout out the songs. I'm like, whoa, no. Let's not do that. What's next? Oh my God, look at your set list, So, anyway, just any thoughts on that? Band?
Yeah, no,
roles?
I agree. I think sometimes there can be too much discussion.
Yeah.
And it's about knowing your role.
Yep.
Not just musically, but where you fit in. And I will happily, because the three bands I'm in, I'm co-manager with Neil. So we have a responsibility to sort the Spotify playlist, write the set list, be in charge of setup, where we're playing, what we, just all those things.
Yeah.
Speaking to the clients when we get there, those are logistics that change. Like, we're the go-to people, and just the nature of it. Most gigs have depths. Most gigs have some sort of depth. If I am then a dep for another band, I will be like, well, this isn't my band. So I will listen to the person who's in charge, who's doing that role for that band. So I have no problem in like seceding that power when I'm not not right. But I think when I am with my bands and there's depths, like sometimes it'll be like, right, this needs to happen. We do it. I've got no problem in being like, guys, this is what's happening. So just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and not in a all bossy boots.
No.
But just, I think as well, clear communication to the other band members. So it's like, guys, I've just spoken to, this is what's happening. They're doing speeches. At some point we're going to go, we're going to do sound check then, blah, blah, blah. But then sometimes I think there can be too much discussion. Like, for example, okay, we need to cut a couple of songs. And then if you open that up to the group, everyone's going to have two different songs they want to cut. Everyone's going to want to have two different songs. Oh, I don't want to do it because... No, tough.
Yeah.
I've got no problem going, we're cutting these two songs.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong. Everyone went, oh, but I like doing that one. I went, Oh, okay, we can keep that, but we're gonna have to cut something.
I don't care.
Yeah,
because I don't like any of them.
yeah.
So, and that's almost where this isn't about emotion. This isn't about what we like and what we don't like.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely think for me that was probably a role I had to get better at.
Yeah.
Through experience. But someone needs to step up and do it. And when you're in that situation like you were, and the thing is, it's like I will tell people, even people who are in the band, can you set up the lights? Can you set up the power? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Can you start taking my drums to the car? All these things. And I got no real. It's not a thing of, oh, I'm in charge. It's just like, let's get this done. Let's just get this done in a quick and efficient.
Yeah. And people are always
way.
up for it. The other night, I had to leave as soon as I finished, and I was like, lads, I'm done with my drums. Can you help me to my car? And they're like, yeah. Because it'd be weird if they went, no. People want to help. And I think people like to be, led, especially if no one's doing it. But I think it's interesting what you said. Just like, if you're a dep for another band that's like an established band, they're in charge and you get not told what to do, but you're like, okay, I'll follow you. Whereas if it's your band, you can be in charge of the depths. But I think, a collective is just a weird one when it's thrown together. Like that. You had the same thing with Indigo Heights, but when I did an Indigo Heights gig and every member was a dep, and it was just like, who's doing what? No one knew, and it was just.
And in those situations, I will see how it pans out, but be ready to step in a leadership role. Why don't you do that? I'll go and speak to them.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, it's just because I've done a lot of these. Yeah. Like, I got a lot of experience. But I think then it's just like, okay, well, why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Or going, we got two options here. We could either do this or this. What do you want to do? So I think it's just about seeing what the dynamic is, and stepping up if needed. If you don't know to step up, then just be a good little boy and do what you're told and offer help. But yes, I one thing I can't stand is when people get emotional about cutting a particular song or another particular song. Yeah. Just whether you play Sex on Fire tonight or not, shouldn't change your day. No, no. It shouldn't and change if it does, your day. Because I tell you what, you're gonna play it next week. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna play it next week. Exactly. And as soon as you enter into that discussion, no, but I like this one. Oh no, but I like this one. Nah. Yeah, that was a learning curve for me because just gotta be like, we're gonna cut these two. Everyone happy? Cool. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. People then go, oh, what if we just move this song there? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. We're going to start the set with Valerie and we're going to end it with Mr. Brightside. It's the same as every other gig going around the country tonight. So we're not doing anything special. No. But that's a perfect way to end it, I reckon. Let's end it there, yeah. Let's end it there. Well, what's going on the rest of the week? What's going on the rest of the week? Working. I was working lots. Gig on Saturday. Probably going to try and avoid the England game. England score. Yeah. And maybe do a 1 a.m. watch with Neil back at the flat. Yeah. Who knows? Will the wedding embrace it? This is the key. This is the thing. Yeah. Do you know what time it is? What time the match is? 5 o'clock. Okay. Wow. Fuck. Yeah. And even if the wedding embrace it, that's when we're arriving and setting up. I don't think they'll embrace it because it's freshman year, alternative band, alternative wedding. They won't like football. I just think we got to turn the phones off and totally watch it when we get home. Yeah. Still 20% off until Saturday. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna get something else, and I'll tell you all about it next week. Do it. Let me know when you go, and I'll come with you. Yeah. Well, Wednesday or Friday, basically. What, this week? Well, it has to be this week. In case we go out. Well, Wednesday I've got to go to Fareham to take my car into the garage. Well, that could work out perfectly.
because I've got a gig in Fareham itself. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you know the army base opposite McDonald's.
Yeah.
There.
time.
On base.
HMS Collingwood.
Well. Yes.
HMS Collingwood. Yeah. If you go in there and you see a golden bust in one of the main bits, you probably won't. My dad got that commissioned.
Oh, cool. Amazing.
Because he was
well, I'll look out for it.
Quite involved in HMS Collingwood over his career. So,
do you know where it is? I can seek it out.
I don't know. Not sure.
Fair.
I don't know.
Well, I'll have a look. Does it have his name on it?
No, it's not of him.
Oh, I didn't know if it had like a little scripture at the bottom.
Knowing my dad, he would have made sure his name was on it somewhere. I sorted this out.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, right? Yeah.
In bigger letters than the guy who actually it is. Probably it is Collingwood, I imagine.
Yeah.
It is of the bloke.
No.
His name's not Colin Gawood. Anyway. Localised Navy jokes for the good. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.